Om. 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 Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sadashivasamaramбhaं Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Vande Guru-paramparam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankara Vavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha Atha Navamodhyayaha Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yogaha Shri Bhagavanuvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhat raja vidya raja guhyam pavitramidamuttamam pratyakshavagam dharmyam susukham kartumavyayam ashraddhana purusha धर्मस्यास्य परन्तपा अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मनि मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः ममात्मा भूतभावनः यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र गोमहान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहं प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तः मम भूतमहेश्वरं मोघाशामोघकर्माणः मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वधाहमहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं हुतं पिताहमस्य जगतः माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कारः ऋक्सामयजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभव प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तपाम्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णामृत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्चाहमर्जुन त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापा यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् एप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेन तश्च वन्ति ते। ओम तत्सत्।
Hari Om. Jai. As decided, we will start with verse 22nd, chapter 9. Ananyāścintayantō māṁ ye janāః paryupāsate teshāṁ nityābhiyuktānāṁ yogakshemam vahāmyaham. Ye janāः, those people who ananyāः, see themselves as non-separate from me. Mam chintayatah, mam chintayantah, Kshamyata, inquiring into me or recognizing me, mam. Paryupasate, seek me, gain me. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam, for these who are always one with me. Yoga kshemam, what they want to acquire and protect. Aham vahami, I take care of. Ye janaha ananyaha mam chintayantah mam paryupasate tesham nitya abhiyuktanam yoga kshemam aham vahami. If the verse is about a gnani, those people who see themselves as non-separate from me, recognizing me, gain me. For those who are always one with me, I take care of what they want to acquire and protect. If the verse is about a mumukshu, those people who are non-separate from me, inquiring into me, seek me. For these who are always one with me, I take care of what they want to acquire and protect. This is a very famous and often quoted verse. It has an important location. It is about the middle of the 9th chapter, which is the middle of the 18th chapter. It can be taken in two ways, as a description of a jnani, a wise man, or as a mumukshu's approach. I repeat, as it is breaking, it can be taken in two ways, as a description of a jnani, a wise man, or as a mumukshu's approach to the object of his seeking. Shankara takes it as a description of a jnani based on the words ye ananyah, which he says is meant to distinguish these people from the ones Bhagwan has mentioned before in the previous two verses. Ananyas are those who are not separate from me, the Lord. Does that mean that in the Lord's vision, there are two sets of people, those non-separate from himself and those who are separate? That is not consistent with all that he has said so far. Therefore, Ananyas means those who do not look upon me as other than themselves, as another being. They do not see me in one form or another as someone separate from themselves. These are Ananyas, and they are never separate from me. How is this possible? These are all individuals. How can they be non-separate from Ishvara, the Lord? Shankara says that it is possible due to the fact that the Lord is the Atma of all of them. When this is so naturally, those who recognize the Atma as Parameshwara are separate from him. The Atma of Ishvara is Atma of the Jiva, and that is Chaitanya, which is one, Ek, which is non-dual, Advitiya, which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. I repeat, when this is so naturally, those who recognize the Atma as Parameshwara are non-separate from him. The Atma of Ishvara is the Atma of the Jiva, and that is Chaitanya, which is one, Eka, which is non-dual, Advitiya, which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Those who recognize themselves as this are called Ananyas. It is because of this word Ananya that Shankara has said in his introduction that these are people of clear vision, Samyak Darshis. All others are also non-separate from Ishvara, but they do not recognize it. The only difference between one group and the other is recognition and non-recognition, knowledge and ignorance, and that is a vast difference. These people recognize even the ahankara as Parameshwara. There are some statements that express this. One such statement is Yatra Yatra Mano Madiyam Tatra Tatra Tava Pada Pankajam. Wherever my mind is, there indeed are your lotus feet. Yatra yatra mano madiyam, tatra tatra tava pada pankajam. So beautiful line to contemplate while meditating. Wherever my mind is, there indeed are your lotus feet. It can be a prayer or a statement of fact. At another place, it is said, Yatra yatra mano yati, tatra tatra samadhyayah. Wherever the mind goes, there indeed is samadhi, recognizing Ishvara. The mind cannot go away from Parameshwara because the mind is itself Parameshwara. It is like someone who wants to get away from space. Where will he go? There is no such place. This is the way in which these people recognize Ishvara. Such people recognizing me or inquiring into me, Mam chintayantah, gain or seek me. Mam paryupasate. And for them, Tesham, who are non-separate from me at any time, Nitya Abhiyuktanam. I take care of yoga and kshema. This is one of the most popular statements in the Gita. Yoga kshema vahami aham. Please let me know there is breaking of voice. So if there is too much, then let me know. I repeat, such people recognizing me or inquiring into me, mam chintayantaha, gain or seek me, mam paryupasate, and for them, tesham, who are non-separate from me at any time, nitya abhiyuktanam, I take care of yoga and kshema. This is one of the most popular statements in the Gita. Yoga kshemam vahami aham. Kshema is retaining or protecting what you have acquired. Praptasya rakshanam kshemah. Praptasya rakshanam kshemah. In India, there is a convention that one writes kshemam at the top left-hand corner of a letter to indicate there is no bad news and everything is fine. If it is a letter informing someone of a death, kshemam will be absent. The person has gone. You cannot retain what you do not have. So, kshemam is omitted. And retention here is always of what is desirable and what you want. Retaining the extra weight that you have gained is not kshema. Yoga has many different meanings. For example, it can mean the title of a chapter. But when yoga and kshema appear together in a compound, the meaning for yoga is acquiring what you do not have. Apraptasya prapanam. Apraptasya prapanam. And it must also be desirable to you. Look at your life. All your concerns can come under one of these two. What is it that bothers you? Just think of any one thing. It will either be about something you want, yoga, or something you are afraid to lose, kshema. I have no peace. I want to gain it, yoga. I do not have enough money. I want to gain some, yoga. I am losing my hair, my health. I want to retain them, kshema. Yoga and kshema indicate a lot about the life of a jiva. If yoga kshema is taken care of, everything is taken care of. Lord says, I take care of these for those who are always non-separate from me. Nitya abhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahami aham. Here Shankara raises a question and answers. Even other bhaktas get their yoga kshema taken care of by Bhagavan. He is the object of their prayers, and as the karma phaladata, he gives the results. So how can you say he takes care of the yoga kshema of only these nitya abhiyuktas? What does it mean? He says it is true that Bhagavan takes care of all others too, but there is a difference with these people. The object of a devotee's prayer is what is desired by him. Look at the previous verse. These people pray and offer rituals to Ishvara for a particular result, heaven. Heaven is the desired object, not the Lord. He is just the means to achieve their end. They will use anyone to get what they want, but they know the local forces are not adequate. And they know that the Lord has all knowledge, sarva jnatva, jnatatva, sarva jnatatva, all power, sarva shaktimatva, and all compassion, sarva dayalutva. So beautiful. I repeat, the object of a devotee's prayer is what is desired by him. Look at the previous verse. These people pray and offer rituals to Ishvara for a particular result, heaven. Heaven is the desired object, not the Lord. He is just the means to achieve their end. They will use anyone to get what they want, but they know the local forces are not adequate, and they know that the Lord has all knowledge, sarva jnatatva, all power, sarva shaktimatva, and all compassion, sarva dayalutva. So they wish to use him to get what they want. So this is about Artharthi. But then look at this. Chintayantaha mam, inquiring into me. Mam paryupasate, they also seek Ishvara. Then what do they get? Let us consider a mumukshu here, one who wants liberation. He also prays to the Lord. But what is the object of his prayer? It is Ishvara. He wants nothing else, only to know Ishvara. My object is only to find you, he says. So I pray to know where you are, what you are. After finding Ishvara, what does he want? He says nothing, only to know that I am one with you. Such mumukshus do not look upon Ishvara as really separate from themselves. There is a sense of separation for the time being because of ignorance. To resolve that, they are always inquiring into the Swarupa of Ishvara. If he is non-dual, he is one with me. How can that be? I am such an insignificant being. How can I be Parmeshwara, the Lord? These doubts are there because there is no knowledge, only faith, Shraddha. So they see Paryupasate. How? By Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana with devotion and enjoyment. there is too much of breaking of voice, please let me know. If it is too much, then one else can take over. I can continue
Yeah, just
sharing the
repeat this
screen.
para one more time, Bella.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Chintayantaha mam, inquiring into me. Mam paryupasate. They also seek Ishvara. Then what do they get? Let us consider a mumukshu here, one who wants liberation. He also prays to the Lord. But what is the object of his prayer? It is Ishvara. He wants nothing else, only to know Ishvara. My object is only to find you, he says. So I pray to know where you are, what you are. After finding Ishvara, what does he want? He says nothing, only to know that I am one with you. Such mumukshus do not look upon Ishvara as really separate from themselves. There is a sense of separation for the time being because of ignorance. To resolve that, they are always inquiring into the Swarupa of Ishvara. If he is non-dual, he is one with me. How can that be? I am such an insignificant being. How can I be Parmeshwara, the Lord? These doubts are there because there is no knowledge, only faith, Shraddha. So they seek, so they seek Paryupasate. How? By Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana, with devotion and commitment. So first the Artharthi, whose object is not moksha. It is only for the kamya karmas they do for getting the desired result. And then is the mumukshu, where their all uh, prayers and everything is only to know Ishvara, only to know who he is, where he is. And after he finds that, he knows that he is one with the Ishvara. And they do not look at Parmeshwara as separate from him. It is only for time being there is a separation because of the ignorance. And that is by Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana, and with devotion, that faith, it is achieved. He recognizes that he is one with the Parameshwara. The object of their prayer, their pursuit is only Parameshwara. They do not use Parameshwara for gaining limited ends. They are only seeking to know him. This is the difference, Shankara says. These are the Ananya Darshis, the wise people who do not care whether they are alive or dead. They are not anxious about looking after themselves, nor are they afraid of what will happen to them. They are with Bhagwan. They are non-separate from him and have no concern for their own yoga kshema. Whatever happens, happens. Everything, even their desires, are all in the hands of prarabdha karma, which is non-separate from Parmeshwara. Since they recognize the law of karma as non-separate from Parmeshwara, whatever takes place is Parmeshwara for them. They are not using him to protect their yogakshema, but yogakshema is taken care of by Bhagwan himself in the form of the laws of karma. So they have no concern about their yogakshema. So beautiful. I repeat, it is very, very important and beautiful paragraph. The object of their prayer, their pursuit is only Parameshwara. They do not use Parameshwara for gaining limited ends. They are only seeking to know him. This is the difference, Shankara says. These are the Ananya Darshis, the wise people who do not care whether they are alive or dead. They are not anxious about looking after themselves, nor are they afraid of what will happen to them. They are with Bhagavan. They are non-separate from him and have no concern for their own yogakshema. Whatever happens, happens. Everything, even their desires, are all in the hands of prarabdha karma, which is non-separate from Parameshwara. Since they recognize the law of karma as non-separate from Parameshwara, whatever takes place is Parameshwara for them. They are not using him to protect their yogakshema, but yogakshema is taken care of by Bhagavan himself in the form of the laws of karma. So they have no concern about their yogakshema. An ordinary bhakta is deeply concerned about his yogakshema. He has concern because he has doership, and centered on this is his entire effort for yogakshema. Being what he is, a bhakta knows that in spite of all his efforts, he will not be able to get what he wants and retain what he wants to retain. So he looks for help. As a bhakta, he performs rituals in order to get and retain what he wants. A jnani, on the other hand, is not a karta. Who is the karta then? If at all there is a karta, it is only Bhagavan. He is the creator, Shristikarta, and sustainer, Sthitikarta, and destroyer, Samharakarta. That is what Shankara says here. Moksha is only the knowledge of Atma being Brahman, which is the cause of the world. To know this, you must inquire, and in that you must have an appropriate means of knowledge, Pramana. Am I going to inquire Ishvara? Through the Pramana, which happens to be in the form of words.
Jai Gurudev Bela. There is a lot of break.
Yes.
Can Dr. Mara, if she's there, take over for some time?
Yeah. Or anyone else, whoever is, I can continue sharing the screen. Please let us know.
I am happy to read.
Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad. Kindly continue.
Okay. So this is from Maya, is it? Moksha.
Moksha, moksha.
Okay. Moksha is only through knowledge of Atma, being Brahman, which is the cause of the world. To know this, you must inquire, and to inquire, you must have an appropriate means of knowledge, pramana. How am I going to inquire into Ishvara? Through the pramana, which happens to be in the form of words. Therefore, inquiring into Bhagavan is inquiring into words, the words of the Shastra. Thus, they seek me, they worship me, by inquiring into who I am. That is the best form of worship. The Jignasus, whom we are talking about here, are Bhaktas. Bhagavan gives them an assurance. For those who are so totally committed to me, I will take care of all that is necessary, yoga and kshema. What a Jignasu wants to gain and protect is knowledge. Bhagavan will take care of his concern because he is his bhakta. The idea that Shraddha will take care of everything. The idea is that Shraddha will take care of everything. When sannyasis give up everything, they do not count upon being taken care of by society or by anybody for that matter. Society does take care of them in some ways, but they do not count on that. They do not think there is a necessity for anybody to take care of them. Things will be taken care of. This is the attitude of the sannyasi. Here, however, Bhagwan assures them, I will take care of your yogatshema. If the yoga and kshema of the wise are taken care of by Bhagavan, the seekers, bhakti will free them from their concerns of yoga kshema. Their own commitment to Ishvara will free them from the concerns of yoga kshema. Because of their commitment to Ishvara, naturally, they are not concerned about their yoga kshema. They know that Ishvara will take care of it. This is expressed as Aham Yoga Kshemam Vahami. Generally, for that, our Yoga Kshema, we use a number of forces, our own powers, our knowledge, our skills, all the resources at our command, etc. Often that is not enough. So we invoke the Lord as well. There is nothing wrong in that. It shows that the person is mature enough to recognize Ishvara. It shows that a person is mature enough to recognize Ishvara, but only as a means to accomplish his own yoga and shema. He does not seek to understand the Lord. This is the ordinary bhakta. Whereas here he says, these people do not seek yoga kshema. They seek me. Who are they? Ananya. Here Krishna presents himself as Ishvara, or Vyasa presents him as Ishvara. Either way, it is the same. As Ishvara, he says, these are the people who are not separate from me. They recognize me as the very Swarupa, the very Atma of themselves. They realize there is no separate Ishvara because Ishvara by nature cannot be separate from anything, including me. Even looking at it from the physical viewpoint, Ishvara's body will include my body. If the whole creation is taken as Ishvara's body, my body is included. My Antakarna is also included. So, even from the standpoint of the body, there is nothing other than Ishvara. From the standpoint of Atma, Aham, which is the main thing here, there is no separation whatsoever. The Jiva is non-separate from Ishvara. Ishvara's Atma is Jiva. Jiva's Atma is Ishvara. From the standpoint of Maya Upati, there is Ishvara. But the Atma of Ishvara is nothing but the truth of the Jiva, the Chaitanya Atma. And the Jiva's
Can you just
Atma.
repeat this paragraph one more time?
Okay, so you need to come down.
Jai Gurudev Somaji, can you keep the speaker to near your mouth so that it, like the volume is a bit low.
Okay,
Otherwise,
now?
it's clear. Yeah, now it's very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I start from here, is it? Ananya?
Yes,
Okay,
dear.
whereas he says, these people do not seek Yogakshema, they seek me. Who are they? Ananya. Here Krishna presents himself as Ishvara, or Vyasa presents him as Ishvara. Either way, it is the same. As Ishvara, he says, these are people who are not separate from me. They recognize me as the very Swarupa, the very Atma of themselves. They realize there is no separate Ishvara, because Ishvara by nature cannot be separate from anything, including me. Even looking at it from the physical viewpoint, Ishvara's body will include my body. If the whole creation is taken as Ishvara's body, my body is included. My Atma, my Antakarna is also included. So, even from the standpoint of the body, there is nothing more than Ishvara. From the standpoint of Atma, Aham, which is the main thing here, there is no separation whatsoever. The Jiva is non-separate from Ishvara. Ishvara's Atma is Jiva. Jiva's Atma is Ishvara. From the standpoint of Maya Upati, there is Ishvara. But the Atma of Ishvara is nothing but the truth of the Jiva. The Chaitanya Atma. And the Jiva's Atma is nothing but Ishvara. There is only one Aham, this limitless Atma, which is the truth of both the Lord and the individual. Those who recognize this identity are called Ananyas. How did they become Ananyas? Mam Chaitanyaha, thinking of me, not their own yoga and prema.
Mam Chintayantaha.
Oh, sorry. Ma Chintayantaha. Okay. Ma Chintayantaha. So always thinking of me, not their own.
It is mom, not ma. Ma then becomes a different meaning altogether. It is mam chintayanta. Mam is they think of me. Ma becomes a negative. Ma means they not think of me. So it becomes a totally different meaning. So mam chintayantaha. Right? There is a M there, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mam
Chintayantaha. Yeah.
Mam Chintayantaha, thinking of me, not their own yoga and kshema. They are committed to the pursuit of the knowledge of me, Ishvara. Inquiring into Parameshwara is the main aim of their life. They are jignasus. They are not making efforts for their yoga kshema, but for the discovery of Ishvara. Shankara presents the Ananyas as jignasus, sannyasis. Their sannyasa.
Jnanis. Sumaji, could you
Oh,
please repeat?
jnani.
Shankara
Okay.
presents.
Shankara presents Ananyas as jnanis, sannyasis. Their sannyasa is not a lifestyle, but a renunciation characterized by knowledge. By the knowledge, aham akarta. I am a non-doer. They know that they have never done anything at any time. and they are not doing anything even now while talking. They know that while performing all these varieties of action, Pashyam Sarvan.
I'll just read. Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan, Pralapan, Vispralapan, Vishrajan, Grahanan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api. I'll just read once again. Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprashan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visrijan, Grahanan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api.
So they do not perform any action. Can you also give the English translation of all these? Some I know. I'm not sure if everyone knows everything. Like Pashyan.
I think Pashyan means to see. Shrinvan means to hear.
Yeah.
Sparshan means to touch. Kindly correct me because my little understanding. Jigran is to, I think, through Brahmaraji.
Jigran.
I think Brahmaraji will be the best person.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually from chapter 5, the verse Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan, Pralapan, Visrijan, Grinnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. So Pashyan, like Belaji mentioned, is to see. Shrinvan is to hear. Sprishan is to feel and touch. Jigran is to smell. Ashnan is to sit. Gachan is to move, to go. Swapan is to sleep. Swashan is to breathe. Pralapan, I think, is to, I don't know what pralapan is. Visrijan is to excrete, to discard. Grinnan is to get or to acquire. Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. I think that Unmishan, Nimishan is to open and close the eyelids, if I'm not mistaken. But this is what it is. I think we can refer back to chapter 5 for complete understanding of this.
Thank you. So they do not perform any action. Pashyan, seeing, he says. Aham na pashyami, I do not see. Shravan, hearing, he says. Hearing, he says. Aham na shranomi, I do not hear.
Shrunomi.
I do not hear. What he means is this self, the meaning of I, being what is, Atma, performs no action, but in its presence, all activities take place. I am in the form of consciousness in the presence of which the mind is mind, the senses are senses. With the mind deciding, with the intellect deciding, I perform action with the organs of action. Manasa sankalpa buddhya nischitya karma karomi karmendriya yaiha. This is jnana. Okay, so distancing yourself from the organs of action, your intellect, buddhi, your mind. So this is wisdom. Am I right? With the mind desiring, with the intellect deciding, I perform action with the organ of action. Manasa sankalpya buddhya nishchitya karma karomi karmendriyaiha. This is jnana.
Karmendriyaihi.
Karmendriyaihi. Ya jnana paryupasate. Those people seek or recognize me in all states of experience. That is why the prefix pari is used for upasate. It means at all times, in all states of experience. Who are they? By seeking Parameshwara seriously through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, enjoying the Amanitwadi qualities.
Amanitwadi
Amanitwadi qualities. They have become Nitya Abhyuktas.
Abhiyuktas. Nitya Abhiyuktas.
Nitya Abhiyuktas. I'll read that again. Who are they? By seeking Parameshwara seriously through Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana, enjoying the Amanitwadi qualities, they have become Nitya Abhyuktas. Nitya Abhyuktas.
Nitya Abhiyuktas.
Nitya Abhiyuktas. Those whose minds are always awake to me, who have recognized that they are never separate from Atma. Their minds do not come in between themselves and the vision. Abhyukta means endowed with Amanitwadi virtues. These people have gone through the whole process and therefore have no inhibiting factor to their knowledge. They are Nitya Abhyuktas. Shankara introduces the next verse by raising the objection we see in detail earlier. Since we say everything here is Ishvara, other devatas are also not separate from Ishvara. So, whether the devotees worship Krishna or Rama, Allah or the Father in heaven, all of them worship only Ishvara. Nobody worships a devata other than Parameshwara. So would he not also look after the Yogakshema of these devotees? Why has Bhagavan singled out the Jnani or the Jignasu? It is true, Satyam Evam, but there is a distinction. We'll have to read the Hindi, Sanskrit.
Yeah, I will read. But anyone wants to repeat any paragraph before we go to the next verse? Because this is very, very important explanation by Swamiji. Should we go ahead or you want us to repeat? Please let us know.
From what I gained is, when we make that distance from the organs of action, our mind, our intellect, then we get into that state of non-doership. And that is what a jignasu is, or a jnani is. He is different from the ordinary bhaktas who do worship the divine, but for some gain. And this is what I got in this paragraph so far. I think we all do that. And more and more into this knowledge, I'm trying to detach from that praying for desire, but it is not that easy. Because somehow it comes again to that only. Has anybody tried distancing yourself from your desires?
Jai Gurudev, this word Yogakshema, it is like it is mentioned that you have to have the Shraddha and you have to pray the Lord. But the word yoga here, I think it is meaning all that, like whatever your dharma or whatever your duties are, if you are doing it with that 100% sincerity, and apart from that, you have the Shraddha also in the Lord, and you are involved in your work, it is in return that the Ishvara assures you that I will take care of all your whatever you required, whether it is materialistic in materialistic way or in the spiritual growth. He will take care of, he will arrange all that is required for your growth, either in the worldly affair or on the adhyatmic path. Like I related in this way. Like,
Thank you. That brings clarity. So we are going back to Swakarma and Swadharma.
because he asked Arjun also that you pick up your bow and arrow and you fight. He did not say that you sit down and do your puja or mantra chanting, or he said you get up and fight. I am there for you. So that yoga part is what he is assuring, like forcing on him, that you do your duty with that Shraddha that I am there for you. So you give your 100% and be rest assured that I will take care of all your things, whatever is required.
And I will also preserve what you have. Kshema is that, no, I will preserve. I
think it's worth repeating one more time. Could you please read? This is very good. Ananya from here. Sumaji?
Anya?
Yeah, from here. It is very beautiful. And since we already have, like, before starting a new verse, it will.
Sure. Ananya. Here, Krishna presents himself as Ishvara, or Vyasa presents him as Ishvara. Either way, it is the same. As Ishvara, he says, these are people who are not separate from me. They recognize me as the very Swarupa, the very Atma of themselves. They realize there is no separate Ishvara, because Ishvara by nature cannot be separate from anything, including me. Even looking at it from the physical viewpoint, Ishvara's body will include my body. If the whole creation is taken as Ishvara's body, my body is included. My Antakarna is also included. So, even from the standpoint of the body, there is nothing other than Ishvara. From the standpoint of Atma, Aham, which is the main thing here, there is no separation whatsoever. The Jiva is non-separate from Ishvara. Ishvara's Atma is Jiva. Jiva's Atma is Ishvara. From the standpoint of Maya Upati, there is Ishvara. But the Atma of Ishvara is nothing but the truth of the Jiva, Chaitanya Atma. And the Jiva's Atma is nothing but Ishvara. There is only one Aham, this limitless Atma, which is the truth of both the Lord and the individual. Those who recognize this identity are called Ananyas. How did they become Ananyas? Mam Chaitanya Mam
Chintayantah.
Chintayantaha. Mam Chintayantaha. Thinking of me. So I'll repeat. How did they become Ananyas? Mam Chintayantaha. Thinking of me. Not their own yoga and kshema. They are committed to the pursuit of the knowledge of me, Ishvara. Inquiring into Parameshvara is the aim of their life. They are Jignasu. They are not making efforts for their yoga kshema, but for the discovery of Ishvara. Shankara presents the Ananyas as Jnanis, Sannyasis. Their sannyasa is not a lifestyle, but a renunciation characterized by the knowledge, Aham Akarta, I am a non-doer. They know that they have never done anything at any time, and they are not doing anything even now while talking. They know that while performing all these varieties of action, Pashyam, I can't read that.
Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sparshan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan, Pralapan, Vishrijan, Grahnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api.
They do not perform any action. Pashyan, seeing. He says, Aham na pashyami. I do not see. Shranvan, hearing. He says, Aham na shrunomi. I do not hear. What he means is, this self, the meaning of I, being what is, Atma performs no action, but in its presence, all activities take place. I am in the form of consciousness, in the presence of which the mind is mind, the senses are senses. I am in the form of consciousness, in the presence of which the mind is mind, the senses are senses, with the mind deciding, the intellect deciding. I perform action with the organs of action. Manasa sankalpya buddhya nischitya karma karomi karmendriyaihi. This is jnana. So with the mind, intellect, so the mind, intellect is doing all the action with the karmendriya. So this is knowledge, not the consciousness, not the atma. Ye jnanaha paryupasate. These people seek or
Ye
recognize.
janaha, Kshamyatam, ye janaha paryupasate.
Thank you. Ye janaha paryupasate. These people seek. Those people seek or recognize me in all states of experience. That is why the prefix pari is used for upasate. It means at all times, in all states of experience. Who are they? By seeking Parameshwara seriously through Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana, enjoying the Amanitwadi qualities, they have become Nitya Abhyuktas, those whose mind
Abhiyuktas. Kshamyata.
Abhiyukta,
Abhiyukta.
Nitya Abhiyuktas, those whose minds are always awake to me, who have recognized that they are never separate from Atma. So those whose minds are always awake to me, who have recognized that they are never separate from Atma, their minds do not come in between themselves and the vision. Abhiyukta means endowed with Amanitwadi virtues. These people have gone through the whole process and therefore have no inhibiting factor to their knowledge. They are Nitya Abhiyuktas. Shankara, you want to say anything here? What is Amanitwadi virtues? I forgot what it means.
I think the Arjavam and other those
Okay. Okay.
Shama, Dama.
Okay. Those 6 wells. Okay. Shankara introduces the next verse by raising the objection we saw in detail earlier. Since we say everything here is Ishvara, other devatas are also not separate from Ishvara. So, whether the devotees worship Krishna or Rama, Allah or the Father in heaven, all of them worship only Ishvara. Nobody worships a devata other than that Ishvara. So, would he not also look after the yoga kshema of these devotees? Why has Bhagavan singled out the jnani or the jignasu? It is true, satyam evam, but there is a distinction.
Okay, Dhanyavad Sumit. I think I'll just read the shloka first, what we have completed, and then we will. Anyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogamam vahamyaham. If the verse is about Jnani, those people who see themselves non-separate from me, recognizing me, kindly mute yourself if by mistake you are unmuted. If the verse is about me, those people who see themselves as non-separate from me, recognizing me, gain me. For those who are always one with me, take care of what they want to acquire and protect. If the verse is about a mumukshu, those people who are non-separate from me, inquiring into me, seek me. For these who are always one with me, I take care of what they want to acquire and protect. We will just close our eyes with that beautiful thinking that I am taken care of. Yeah, Jai Gurudev, kindly share your takeaways. For me, it is like everything is happening, and that complete faith that he takes care of everything, what is required. Kindly share your takeaways. We have just completed one verse only today, but it is very, very important verse. We repeated it. I think here different types of bhaktas are discussed, are explained by Swamiji.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev. I think here with respect to the mumukshu, where I suppose all of us fit in, there are few aspects here. That is, the mumukshu, he understands that he is non-separate from Ishvara. He knows it as a concept. He still has not recognized it like a jnani. And whatever is happening in his life, he takes it as part of his prarabdha. Whether it is something joyous, something non-joyous, it is all Ishvara, because he is the karma phaladata. So his focus is not on his yoga and kshema. His yoga and kshema, he has complete faith that whatever is happening is because of the laws of karma, that shraddha is there. So in a way, he is also free from the pairs of opposites, so to say. And his focus, all his efforts are towards, his pursuit is towards inquiring who is Ishvara and the connection between Ishvara and the jiva. But this verse actually is like a mirror for all of us who are on this path, who we think, I'm looking at it myself. I think I'm a mumukshu, but am I really a mumukshu with this as the benchmark? How many times am I praying to the Lord to protect my so-called ego, my, that when you're protecting your ego and you're praying for that, that is also part of yoga, part of kshema, is what you have, you want to protect. I can relate to this now very well, because being in a new hospital and heading the department, it's a lot more people to deal with. And you're out there in the open and you're accountable. So mentally, there is a lot of should I say, challenges I'm going through right now. Because on one side, there is the knowledge base. Of course, no one can know everything in medicine. Medicine is so vast. So when you find that there are people who know more than you, there is that little insecurity that comes in. And so I'm actually looking at it. Am I praying in order to protect my security? In which case, I'm no better than any artha or artharthi or a kami. Am I really a mumukshu there? So this is actually it's a beautiful exercise for me to reflect and introspect and see how true of a mumukshu am I, or am I only looking after my yoga and kshema. So I think this verse is good for that introspection.
I think as the head of the department, the function would be to organize and get things done by delegating authority and responsibility to others around you. Gurudev says, that I don't know, turning after going into knowledge and doing a lot of introspection, you come to that wonderful I don't know. So at many a times, like one remains a student for life, and coming from there, when you say, oh, I didn't know this aspect of medicine, is okay. Everyone cannot know everything about medicine. So if somebody, see, those who are specialized even in pediatric surgery there or pediatric physicians, there may be separate isolated groups where they go into specialization for that. So they may end up knowing more. So that's okay, like accepting that and being in wonderment of their knowledge being higher and accepting that and moving on. Is that wonderful? I don't know.
Thank you so much, Percy ji. That is what it has been a constant reflection in my case for the last, say, month and a half or so, and I'm actually amazed at how delicate this ego is and how much we are under its influence. I'm talking of myself. I'm not generalizing anyone. I'm talking of myself. And unless I'm aware of that I can just be drawn away into kind of protecting it, taking care of it. But I recognize that, yes, I know this and I don't know this. And, uh, we keep having these morning huddles in the hospital, which is a wonderful thing. So many things are opening up. There's something called situational humility that our CEO was talking about the other day. And he says, in a given situation, it is all right to say that you don't know it. But somewhere down the line, maybe this got ingrained in me that I should know everything, and that is what is the struggle right now. So I'm kind of making peace with that thing, that yes, I don't know everything, and it is okay not to know everything. But
Yeah,
somewhere
that
that
is so
struggle,
true. That is so true.
yeah,
We don't know everything. That we should come from that. See, I'm
mm,
sitting here in this class as a mere student. You are my principal,
mm,
sort of.
mm.
So it's like that. And I'm accepting this, that I don't
Right,
know much about Gita.
right. And also the aspect of what will others think. All this again is to do with the ego, right? Oh, what will others think if I say I don't know? So that being a football of others' opinion, that's coming up again and again. And I'm so amazed at how my mind is working. I did go through phases of feeling insecure, but I'm slowly, gaining that uh, the like I said, I'm making peace with that, saying that, yes, it's fine. I don't know. And I am coming from that space where I just want to be a karma yogi there. Even, of course, workplace, you don't, I mean, everything you do throughout your day is you're supposed to be a karma yogi. So this aspect, this, especially the shloka number 22 here, is very, very profound in the sense, I don't need to worry about my yoga kshema. Why am I worried about protecting my ego or think or kind of protecting that position that I'm in? That will take care. He will take care of it. I'm just going to focus on understanding what the true nature is,
There
what
was
my
this
true nature is.
scientist who came to Gurudev and he said, I've been studying matter for over 20 years and I find that it does not exist. That wonderful. I don't know that he came to a conclusion about matter.
Right.
That way, the research is ongoing. So many new things are going to come up. And we are not, the latest students will know much more about that particular field. We are not studying all the time. So, though we need to keep ourselves abreast, but still, like accepting that somebody knows more than you is okay.
It's fine. Correct. And I'm
Jai
very
Guru.
happy that the student in me is still alive. It is not like, and I believe that each one of us is an eternal student. So I'm very, very grateful to myself and to Ishvara to have given me that little aspect of wanting to learn. So that I think is my is my go-to, and yeah, we are students all our life, like Dr. Renu says.
Jai
Dr.
Gurudev.
Pramara,
Jai Gurudev.
you are in. Okay, you carry on.
Just my one sentence that sometimes it helps to have two postulates, that Parmarthik Satya and Sansarik Satya. So just now, some things when you take it as a Sansarik Satya, it will become very easy for you to take over as the head of the department, in which all these things are included, that you are in a you are wearing that student's cap also simultaneously. That will really help in a big way. At the same time, maintaining that poise from within. That's what I feel. So the moment we shift from there are two postulates, that Sansarik Satya and Parmarthik Satya. Immediately from within, you will feel that so much poise. And then simultaneously taking more and more responsibility as the HOD or whatever the new things are coming up in your way. Jai Gurudev.
I was just relating with your situation, like you are in that yoga kshema position and you are doing your part, and it is that you are doing it, trying to do it 100%. So there is no lacuna in your efforts in any way, because your intentions are good. You want to do well for the department, for the patient. So the intentions are good, and the shema part is that Ishvara is taken care of. So I don't think you should worry about any this thing that you are behind someone, because all of us know that in medicine you can't know everything, and it is only that the ongoing webinars which are so common now after COVID, that you learn every time you open, you learn something new. So the learning process keeps on going in our profession, because uh, advancements keeps on happening, and it's only that you are briefing every time when you in something, some meeting or in some webinar, you update yourself or you read something. So it's an ongoing process. uh, so I don't think so you have to feel a little bit of insecurity also, because you are doing your 100%, your intentions are right. So rest the shema part will Ishvara will take care of. So you are doing very good, Dr. Brahma. And all our wishes, all the people here, they all have good wishes for you. So you don't at all worry at your end. Yeah.
That is so wonderful. Thank you all for that lovely sharing, and it is so reassuring that yeah, to hear all your inputs.
Yeah, Hariom, I just want to add, Brahmaraji, it is so beautiful to hear all the discussion, but even at personal level, it happens. It is not just at professional level. I'm the eldest daughter-in-law. My all three younger co-sister-in-laws, they are much, much knowledgeable, much, much wiser than me. And every time, whenever we are together, it is so wonderful learn every time the new things from them. And I have given them that space. Earlier, 20, 30 years back, it was hurting my ego. Oh, how can she tell me that this is not right, this is not correct, it should be like this. But now that easiness, that arjavam, that kshama, shanti, that to accommodate everyone into our space has come, and it is so wonderful. Even in that personal level, it becomes so easy going. I mean, not only for you, but for everyone else around you. Dhanyavad. That's so
In
beautiful.
Japan, on the shop floor, even the manager wears blue overalls. So everybody is on the same level. Nobody is senior or junior. That is the way they perform in Japan. And they have this Kaizen management theory there, in which even the shop floor workers will give their ideas. It is they are working hands-on. So they give their ideas as to how to get better productivity. And that is accepted by the management. There is no seniority, junior, this thing over there. So that merging of egos is complete over there, and that is how they bond well with their shop floor workers, the managers. And secondly, they have this kairatsu management, that before something wrong happens, how to take a corrective action. Like a lady would wear a sari, it could tear, but you put a fall on it, isn't it? And you stitch a fall, due to which the sari will not tear easily. So taking corrective action even before some incident has happened. So those are management principles that the Japanese have put into practice, and their departments are doing well. We know about the productivity, their output, and their quality of instruments that they produce, whether it be automobiles or anything.
So beautiful.
Again, it is ego, like merging the ego with everyone else, is like becoming one with everybody.
Right. No, that is what I started, for, I think somewhere Gurudev mentions that we consider the whole universe as one organism. When that's the same line of thinking that I'm adopting for the department, saying we're all as like one organism. There may be some one of us who's better at one thing, there's another who's better at another, but then we function together as an organism for the betterment of the patient. The patient is our supreme there. So if for the patient's benefit, uh, all of us are working as one organism. So this was the line of thinking. Tomorrow we're actually having a departmental meeting. So I thought I will share this, and I'm certainly going to share your Kaizen principles, Percy ji. If I can request you to share with me the names and the details, that will be wonderful. I will take that up. Yeah, I think today we almost reached the end without going to chapter 6. But can I request, if it's okay with everyone? Oh, thank you, Dr. Renu. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, Brahmaraji. You are our inspiration. You are our angel. We look forward from. It's so beautiful. You made our difference in our life.
Yeah. If we can take about 10 minutes, maybe, is that okay? We'll just go to chapter 6.
Yes, yes, please.
Are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think, where is this? We started Krishna's answer to this. One second.
I think verse 40, no?
40 or 41?
40 we were doing.
40, right?
Yeah.
We looked at Kalyana, the marriage, and how what Kalyana is. Incidentally, my son's name is Kalyan. So I was just thinking about him yesterday when we were reading this. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Partha Naivehan. This is in Krishna's response to Arjuna's question of what will happen if an Ubhaya Vibrashta, the one that is the yogi or the Jnani, not the Jnani, the Mumukshu who passes on without attaining, without recognizing Ishvara, what will happen to him? Shri Bhagavanuvacha Partha naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Shri Bhagavan said, indeed, O son of Pritha Arjuna, there is no destruction for him or her, neither here nor in the hereafter, because anyone who performs good actions never reaches a bad end. I think we read some of this here. The sannyasi never comes to a bad end. Durgatim na gacchati. Taking care of anatma is for atma alone. Changing the course of karma. I think this is where we have stopped, I think. Kalyana means auspicious. Therefore, moksha is kalyana. Marriage is also called kalyana because it marks the end of the brahmacharya stage of life and the auspicious beginning of the grihastha ashrama, which will finally prepare one for moksha, the most auspicious. Moksha is the ultimate kalyana and marriage is a sadhana, a means for gaining the grand finale called moksha. Changing the course of karma. Therefore, anyone who has made a step towards moksha is called kalyanakrit, whether the person is a karma yogi or a sannyasi. Both of them are kalyanakrits alone because some action has been taken for the sake of moksha. Thereafter, progress is assured. Any karma waiting to take the body of a frog, a celestial, or anything else is all subjugated and no longer has any chance to express itself. So any karma waiting to take the body of a frog, a celestial, or anything else is also subjugated and no longer has any chance to express itself. Once the person is kalyanakrit, the entire order, the entire flow changes. Whereas if you are simply going along with the flow, then all the accumulated karmas have the same chance. But when a particular set of karmas exerts more pressure for expression, then it has a greater chance of getting fulfilled. He's talking of the prarabdha karma, with which this person is going to gain another birth. So because if your efforts are towards kalyana, you're a kalyanakrit, that is you're a mumukshu, all the other prarabdha karma that possibly you would have otherwise born as a frog or a celestial or something else will be kind of subdued. And what will remain highest will be based on the efforts you've made in the previous life. If you are a kalyanakrit, that is exactly what is going to be expressed. Once you have changed the course, the order has to change. Therefore, for the person who has Shraddha, all other karmas have to wait, and the one for pursuing the knowledge proceeds. And how long will the others have to wait? Until the person gains kalyana, moksha. And once moksha is gained, all karmas disappear. They are finished for good. They do not exist at all. Therefore, to question whether one is a karta is no ordinary question. Assuming one is a karta, one performs good and bad actions. But here, the very karta is questioned. One asks, am I a karta? This then is the question that makes one a kalyanakrit. And having asked it, no one reaches a bad end. I will read this para again. Once you have changed the course, what is meant here by changing the course is that you've taken on to the moksha marg, you're a mumukshu, the order has to change. Therefore, for the person who has Shraddha, all other karmas have to wait, and the one for pursuing the knowledge proceeds. And how long will the others have to wait? Until the person gains kalyana moksha. And once moksha is gained, all karmas disappear. They are finished for good. They do not exist at all. Therefore, to question whether one is a karta is no ordinary question. Assuming one is a karta, one performs good and bad actions. But here, the very karta is questioned. One asks, am I a karta? This then is the question that makes one a kalyanakrit, and having asked it, no one reaches a bad end. We just recollect the chapter 9 that we read today, is that Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, all of that. A Jignasu looks at it as he is doing all this, yet he is not. He is only a witness to all of that. I'm seeing, yet I'm not the seer. I'm hearing, yet I'm not the hearer. And he says, with the mind desires, the intellect discerns, and all the sense organs are working. I am just a mute witness to all of that. That is jnana. So all of this, am I a karta? Am I a doer? That question itself is such a course changing thing. And once you've changed your course, the life's course, there is no looking back, which again is such a important thing that we've been blessed by a human life. Because only in the human life can one mature, can emotionally mature, become a jignasu, or even attain moksha. So therefore, realizing the importance of the human birth, because from this human birth, if you've taken to the moksha mark, you will only ascend up higher and higher. If having taken this human birth, if you're just living a life of a samsari, then your karmas, whatever karma, you might be born as a frog, you might be born as an insect next janma, we don't know. But if you've taken to the moksha mark, you are assured, this is the guarantee that Bhagavan is giving us. Krishna addresses Arjuna here as Tata, a name used affectionately for either a father or a son in recognition of the closeness between them. A father is one who protects himself in the form of his son, the son being as good as himself. When the son is happy, the father is happy. When the son grows up nicely, the father feels that he too has grown nicely. If the son is successful, the father also feels successful. Like this, whatever happens to the son happens to the father, in that it very much affects him. Therefore, there is no distance between the son and the father. For this reason, they are both called Tata. Here, Arjuna is not Krishna's son, but he is a father in the sense that a creator can be called father, Janaka. There is the father who creates a body for you, Deha Janaka, and a father who creates wisdom in you, Vidya Janaka. Because the wise person who is a teacher, Acharya, is one who gives you a complete rebirth in the form of wisdom, he is called father. Therefore, the author of the body and the author of the knowledge are called Tata, father. The word Tata is used for a son as well as for a disciple, Shishya. Arjuna is not Krishna's son, but he is his Shishya, and a Shishya is like a son, equal to a son. Therefore, Krishna affectionately addresses him here as Tata, telling him that the sannyasi who has Shraddha, but who does not gain the knowledge, does not come to a bad end. In the next verse, Krishna begins his explanation about what does happen to this person. We'll stop here and just close our eyes for a few seconds. Jai Gurudev. Anyone wants to share anything from what we learned just now? Please go ahead. पार्थनैवेह नामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. What words of assurance that he's giving us. So like Gurudev says, after some 81 lakh births, we have been given this birth, this human birth. It's such a blessing. And having got the human birth, having a path, having a guru is another blessing. And after having both of this, getting that intention also to know who am I, what is this world, what is the truth. Getting that inquiring nature itself is another blessing. So having had all these three, you are assured that you're a Kalyanakrit, and this Kalyanakrit, Durgatim Tata Gacchati. He never, nothing inauspicious happens to him. So we don't need to be worried. No need to be feverish about getting moksha in this janma itself. If it happens, it happens. If not, you're assured that you will. I'm reminded, I think one of Percy ji, I think, posted this. Someone asks, or maybe I read it somewhere. Someone asks, I've done a lot of mistakes in the past. What do I do? And Gurudev gives him an assurance. He says, once you're on this path, forget about your past. Don't worry about all the mistakes you've done. You're on this path, you're assured of progress. You're taken care of. So shall we close here? If anybody, if there's no one wanting to share, we'll continue tomorrow. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.